A Tale of Forest Council.
To the Forest Election Committee. Subject: Request to address the unprecedented crisis of our Himalayan community. Dear Mr. Brown Bear, I hope everything is fine there in the dense forest. I want to caution you about the current developments at the edge of the forest. It is not hidden from any forest dweller that we have continuously faced the threat of being completely stamped out by the extremely abhorrent bipeds for ages. We have lost our families, friends, and home to these monstrous backhoes which function at the commands of the sapiens. However, these days the forest outskirts are experiencing a preposterous sudden drop in the fiendish activity. This inactivity from our cruel enemy is a big matter of concern, as our think tank, Mrs. Golden Eagle. She suspects that they might be planning for a more powerful attack. Are those Snollygosters planning to conquer our land for their giant infrastructure such as dams, industries, roads, etc.? Or have they retreated from the war pitying us? What is their nefarious plan? We still don't know the answer, hence, our current course of action should be to gear up and address the problem proactively. Our land investigator, Mr. Mommet, caught up on a strange situation. Our current president, Mr. Tigger, was again spotted participating in unsolicited interaction with someone from the outer town of Sapiens. His activities in the recent past have been quite unprecedented, which arose suspicion even in the minds of our cool headed Mr. Elephant. Our most reliable spy, Mr. Tar, has kept a close eye on him and has managed to collect pieces of evidence regarding his suspicious activities, which point towards the blasphemous thoughts of Mr. Tigger against the goddess forest. He might be involved in selling the rights of our forest to those biped fiends. I would also like to inform you that our Minister for Foreign Relations, Mr. Goose, has returned home and brings the news from the sapiens world. He said that the bipeds seem to behave strangely in other places as well. Contrary to Mrs. Golden Eagle, he reports that a new viral ailment has gripped the biped world. Our cybernaut boy, Mr. Red Panda, after rummaging, has gathered intel and said that this pandemic is dangerous and may also have a detrimental effect on us. Relatives of Mr. Lion and President Mr. Tigger, who were captured last year for the zoo designed for biped entertainment, have been reported to have fallen prey to this deadly viral disease. This incident has again unveiled the deceitful bipeds that ensured us of the health and safety of our kind in the zoo. So, we have sent out a team of officers headed by Mr. Pigeon to get to the bottom of the matter. There was a time when we used to roam the land and scale the sky without any fear of being poached or hunted. We even formed a beautiful relationship with the sapien world. This bond has weakened over the last century. And unfortunately, in the last few decades, the biped has adopted a multi-dimensional approach to defeat and encroach our forest. It is now a well established fact that the acceleration of climate change is solely their handiwork and has already evoked various issues like forest fires, cutting of trees, loss of lives, and food for others. Our fragile shelters have often been swept away due to flash floods and glacial lake outbursts. Our numbers have declined due to hunting guided by their everlasting greed. For centuries, we have maintained the balance of Mother Nature, who has nurtured their civilization, yet blinded by their lust for power and pathetic economy, they have been mutilating the hands of their giver. Last week, Miss Monal sent an emotional message on behalf of the avians to me. She informs that two more families have been enlisted as critically endangered and are struggling for their mere existence. Some of my neighboring families, including that of Mr. Musk Deer, Mr. Rhino, Mr. Cheer, and Mr. Snow Leopard, are barely visible these days. We might be heading towards mass extinction at an unprecedented rate, and our Flora community members are no exception. However, not all hope is lost. Mr. Pinus and Mr. Alnus have observed that not all bipeds are the same. Contrary to our new beliefs, Mr. Popular and Mr. Abbey stand testimony to the kind-heartedness of some bipeds. Some of them are very kind and doing great work for the conservation of our forest lands. They are approachable, might be helpful to us in our struggle after all. If these bipeds pay attention to our issues, we could have a better chance of winning. I suggest forming a committee that can contact those sapiens directly and give suggestions for improving their policy on wildlife and development projects that will ensure peaceful coexistence. Ecological corridors, national parks, eco-sensitive zones, and projects like Secure Himalaya can directly benefit us. However, awareness in the sapient community is the key that may lead to a great redefinition of their understanding of the economy as an economy with ecology. For such revolutionary change, there is a dire need for a leader who will count Mother Nature's conservation plans in the list of agendas during the election campaign. If such initiatives are taken by the leaders, it might help in spreading awareness among communities. However, the community must also demonstrate that nature conservation is one of our primary needs so that it becomes an agenda for electoral politics. I think that the time has come to elect a new leader who believes in our collaboration with sapiens for mutual understanding of problems and restoring the balance of our Himalayan ecosystem. Signed, Mr. Himalayan Yak, Young Leader.